Hi folks, Rick Berube here, VP of Sales at Berkshire Hathaway of Arizona, California, and Nevada, and we have with me today Mark Stark, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Arizona, California, Nevada. That's a mouthful. Okay, so today in these crazy times, we thought we'd do this. By the way, we're going to do this every Tuesday and Thursday. This is the first one. It'll also be done next Tuesday, same time, 1:30. Okay, we'll be doing these updates and things for you to think about in these crazy times. So Mark, why don't you take it off and start with the logistic parts that we had talked about.
Okay, well, listen, our title today is What Great Sales Executives Do in Crisis. So we have a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. First of all, okay, I can't think of any other time that attitude can be more important. And I'm going to say attitude is absolutely everything. And I want to give you really a message of avoiding some traps. And I see this in my own interaction with different individuals. Some within the organization, I have to say, some people I'm dealing with outside of the organization. So I know it's happening, and I just don't want you falling into that trap. One is being calm versus doing the right things. So let's talk about that. Sometimes we fall into this trap that we believe we have to be all worked up to get the right things done. And it's absolutely not the case. In fact, it should be absolutely the opposite. You can be absolutely calm, okay, with clear thinking and do the right things. Being worked up, taking real, I know the fears are real, but taking those fears and throwing that into being all worked up, building that anxiety and trying to make good decisions, I believe does not work together.
As a matter of fact, almost being the common influence, meaning that some people are going to be worked up today. So your job as being the professional is to keep people between the lines.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is our job. Next, another thought process is, or a trap, is assuming nothing. We're not in a situation, we should never assume in our business. I've talked about this many times. This is one of those major times. Assume nothing. We don't know what we don't know. That's why we ask good questions and we keep listening. And as we know, things are so fluid and continuing to change. Predict nothing. I hear a lot of people with their predictions. With all due respect to everybody, we don't need your predictions. Even if you're right, we don't know you're right. And most of the time, we're wrong. So don't predict timing. Don't predict issues. I will say this. If this were to go for 30 days and solve itself, we will deal with it. And we'll have things to deal with in 30 days and through that time frame. If it goes for 3 months, 4 months, we'll have to deal with it. So don't make predictions. Assume nothing. Let's just continue to listen. Third and final, as it comes to attitude is everything, is focus on desired outcomes. Start with your own. All right, this will give you some really clear insight of what you should be doing next is, wait a minute. Okay, regardless of what's going on in the world today and in my own life, in my own business, in my own personal situation, what's my desired outcome? What do I want to see happen in a personal sense? What do I want to see happen in a business sense? And then what activities, what am I going to do to make sure that happens? And that goes when you have these discussions with your clients, all right? Every situation, every person's situation is different. I'm even going to go out there and say none are exactly the same. So guess what? Don't take a experience, someone's truth, and make it everyone's truth, because it's not accurate. Listen, if you're talking to me and I'm one of your clients, listen to what I'm saying, understand what my desired outcomes is, and then do whatever you can do to help me achieve that desired outcome. Anything to add?
I just want to explain, we're staggered like this to stay apart. It's not like, anyway, so I think, I agree with you 100%. I also think it's a time to, if you ever needed to work on your versatility, now's the time to do that. Because like Mark said, I remember the last time, and this is not as bad as 9/11, but when 9/11 happened, I was coaching agents. And you have some people that are very business as usual. Okay, your clients are going to be the same way, and your job, if they need to close on a house, your job is to help them close on a house. If their job is to sell their home, that's your job to help them. And then you're going to have some people that won't talk very much about it, and some people that can't talk about anything but it. And like Mark said, you ask questions, you listen, and then you know where to take them, because what's going to happen is a lot of you is you're just going to be ended up filling your pipeline, and you'll be able to deal with them when you can. Okay? So.
All right, let me jump in. And while we're doing these activities and being in a situation where we're dealing with our clientele, let's certainly talk about how we do that safely and how we act smart while we do these activities. First of all, you know what? If we come from common sense, it's a big help. I mean, as Rick talked to you today is, you know, we're a distance apart, we're not in big groups of people, we're doing things that are commonsensical. Let me give you some other aspects that I want you to keep in mind. And you're going to be hearing this again and again and again. Are we going to be a broken record? Absolutely we are. Okay, because I want you to continue to hear the message, and that is following the CDC guidelines and establish social distancing parameters in everything, in everyone that you're dealing with. So this way, you know, okay, that's common sense. If it's good for this situation, it's probably, if I need a distance, it's probably good in everything that I'm doing. At this time, I can speak for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Arizona, California, Nevada, no open houses at this time. We're not going to do any open houses. I know this has already taken place. Again, we're going to be a broken record, but just for your repeat information is no open houses at this time. So important, please participate and review all branch and company-wide communications. This is such a fluid situation. We did an announcement last night, and we just sent out an email this morning that has some changes with the information that we shared just last night. Okay, so we told you X has to be done, and now we made some tweaks to that. So the best advice I can give you is we will communicate well and often. I need you to participate and listen well and often. Anything you want to add to that, Rick?
No, that was because, like you said, it's changing all the time. And it's one of those times where I know all of you don't read your company email. This is the time you really need to start looking for it for sure.
Yeah, and talk to leadership. Ask leadership, anything new come out, anything that we need to know in addition. I saw the email. Please take the time to do it. And as Rick mentioned earlier, we're going to be here every Tuesday and Thursday giving you additional updates. And of course, if there's any changes, we will certainly share that. I want to take some time now and talk about how should I operate my business. Are we going to have opportunities for questions later? Beautiful. I don't know if questions will come in today, but if they do, we will have time to answer those questions. But I want to take a few moments now and talk about, so what are some key points? You know, Mark, through this challenge, it's craziness. Number one being safety and health of my family and friends and coworkers. So that's paramount. So with that in mind, how do I work with my clients? How do I keep my head focused on that? What are some tips that we can talk about today? Well, I'm glad I asked in my own broadcast, because I'm going to share some tips around that. I want to give you 4 recommendations as it comes to working your sphere and database. And you know what? I hope Rick doesn't smack me with this next comment, but I'm going to tell you, as the CEO of this company, I don't want you blatantly just prospecting in this market. Not because I don't like prospecting and you building your business, but I think if we use common sense and we're smart about it, there's the right way. Okay, that is, in my opinion, right now, more important than prospecting and more powerful than prospecting. And that's what I want to take a few minutes and talk about.
By the way, I agree with that.
Thank you. Because I'm watching you, so
you
don't hit me.
I can't get you 6 feet close.
Okay, good.
You're good today.
All right. So what are the 4 recommendations? Let me tell you what they are first, okay, and then I'm going to go back and talk about them. Contact, listen, counsel, and be of service. All right, so let's start with contact. First of all, you know, no one cares how much we know until they know how much we care. So listen, You want your sphere and database, which are the number one sphere database friends, people you know and know you, are the number one focus I would recommend to be contacting during this time. Number one, okay? So if you're wondering who I should focus on, it's people within your database, within your sphere that know you and you know them.
Can I have one thing there? Sure. Okay, so because I know a lot of you have an unorganized database, you're at home, you should set up a little office at home, and while you're contacting them, because some of these conversations are gonna last a while, you might as well have your VAC up, make sure everybody's in there. I would definitely recommend they're getting the newsletters, because even Berkshire Hathaway Corporate's gonna be sensitive to what's going on. And just, if you don't have them set up in there, or Market Watch, whatever you decide to put them on, and while you're talking, you can set them all up so that by the time we get through this, your database is completely organized and you're covering all the things that Mark talks about.
Yeah, I mean, each city and state even has its own additional rules, but unified, we've said if you can work outside of the office, all right, you should do so. Right. So that's a great support to that, Rick.
Yeah.
All right, you contact me during this time. Now, you're not contacting me going, hey, I just wanted to call you and ask you if I can help you with any real estate needs. That's not why you're contacting me. That doesn't show you're thinking about and caring about me. What would do that? You know what? I'm thinking about you, and I wanted to reach out to see how you're doing. And let me be clear. I don't care if any real estate conversation comes up about this at all. Doesn't matter. They're people. You're a person. Contact, we're connected, we know each other. How are you doing? Do you care how I'm doing? So when you reach out, be authentic and just say, you know what? I'm thinking about you. You're on my mind. How are you doing? How's the family doing? What's going on with this? Ask real questions, all right? Ultimately, some of you might be thinking that's a script, and I guess by definition it is, but it's the easiest script because it comes from your heart and it comes from that you truly care what's going on in their lives. Once you ask me how things are going, it will go, the conversation will go just in the direction, a normal direction, an authentic direction that it should go. Anything more on contact?
No, that's good, that's good.
Okay. Next, when they're talking to you, please listen, all right? We get caught up, and not doing this intentionally or with any malice, but we tend to think about what we're gonna think next or say next. Or we're thinking about what we want to share, and we've got some really good information for them that will help them protect their family. I get all that, and you will be able to get that information out. But if I'm talking, listen to me. Right now, listen, all right? I may just need to vent. And I remember having a conversation with my wife very recently, and she started going over something with me, and I broke my own rule. I jumped and I said, babe, here's what. And she goes, you know, Mark, I don't need your advice right now. I don't need a solution. I just need you to listen. And I was like, wow, you got it. And I shut up and I listened. Listen to them while they're talking, okay? I promise you, not only will you be able to help them more effectively, but you'll get a wealth of information, and you'll really get an understanding, not only in words, but in feel of what they're dealing with. And everyone's situation is different. Some are taking it differently. Some have fears, okay, that others don't.
Right, Mark, and one little tip, just so what I used to do when I started that was, you're talking about open-ended questions, what, when, who, where, why. Easiest thing is repeat and approve. And then what I used to do is keep a pad just like this, in the nuggets they would say, so I was listening, I would write them down. Okay, so that way you're totally into, somebody can tell when you're listening to them and somebody can tell when you're not. So.
Yeah, so true. I love that.
Because I wasn't good at listening at first.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Exactly. All right. Next, third, all right, after listening is counsel. All right. They're going to have questions come up. If it's not your expertise, well, maybe you can direct them to someone that they can talk to help them. Maybe you have to do some homework for them on their behalf. You know what? Let me do some homework for you and find out who you can talk to. Don't worry about it. I'm on it right now. Okay? Doesn't even have to do anything with real estate. But I will tell you, there will be real estate questions that come up, and there will be real estate conversations that happen. Because in a market like today, let me tell you just overall some of the things that are happening. And this is not universal in every market. I mean, some of the markets we work in are in total shutdown. Okay, you're not allowed to even show property. So it's all can be different. But let me give you some overall ideas and take this into account. One, when you are talking about real estate, there are people in a market where you have such low interest rates that could not buy just a short time ago, but now inventories are loosening up. And because inventories are loosening up, that person who was so frustrated they couldn't find a home, well, guess what? They have an opportunity now. They can actually buy today, okay? If it's approved to work in that state and you can show property and in that city, you know what? They may want to go out and look at property and you can be there to help them and they may avoid some of the frustrations that they've been dealing with. Anything?
You know, that's a great point. And I'm going to tell you, when you're talking to people, okay, this is exactly what I was talking to my coaching today too. When you're talking to people, you're going to be able to tell which ones they are. Let's say you're dealing with 3 people. Okay, one of them is probably going to want to keep going. One of them is going to want to just wait a week or two, and one of them is going to probably wait until so you're going to have all of those. But that is a great point. You do have less competition right now for sure.
No, and the market, just like everything else, is fluid, so it's changing. If I'm you as a professional realtor, as you're having these conversations and you listen and you understand what my outcome, what I want to see happen, and what my needs are, you can go, you know what? Probably wouldn't be able to have told you this 2 weeks ago, but today, I think I can help you in these certain areas. So, you know, from that standpoint is counsel them in where you feel it can help them in whatever they're trying to accomplish. Last but certainly not least, which ties into that, is be of service, whatever that may be. And I'm going to tell you right now, and you know what, I have to say the real estate community throughout the country gets this and has always gotten this, is look at how many things we do that have zero to do with real estate, but we help our clients in whatever they need. This is going to come up, okay, in these conversations. So just be of service. You know, what can I do? You know, it might be because they literally, for whatever reason, can't get out and get to the grocery store and bring groceries. I already know, because I know these conversations are already happening. Mm-hmm. You're going out there and you're picking up groceries and you're bringing it over. Okay, even if you're just leaving it on the front door and there's no communication or whatever, and then they pick that up. Look, the real estate industry as a whole, I have to tell you, one of the most proudest aspects of what we do is we truly care and we go above and beyond for our clients in numerous ways. This is one of those times that your clients, the people who know and trust you, okay, are going to need you. It starts off with first contacting them, seeing how they're doing, listening to their needs, counseling, and ultimately being of service for them. You know, we hear this all the time. What do we want to be? Their trusted advisor. Sometimes it's just, hey, what do you need and how can I help? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, you know, as the saying goes, as you're saying that, I'm thinking, you know, it's like I've talked to some agents and I would say denial, it's not just a river in Egypt. In other words, it's going on right now and you have to be the person who accepts what's happening and make adjustments. And like I said, some people will be, you know, I saw an interview this morning like that. They were interviewing an older person through the door. They were both on the phone on TV and they were delivering food to her and stuff. So that's a great thing too. But remember, you can't stick your head in the sand. This is going on, this is happening. Having conversations, helping people with where they are, no matter what's going on. And you know, we'll get through this all together.
Yeah. Last point, then we want to open up for some questions, if there are any. Please have a proactive mindset versus reactive, all right? Meaning, you know what? You're not waiting for people to reach out to you. You're not waiting to do the right thing. You're doing the right thing and you're reaching out to your people. So if you really want to know, the best thing to do is that proactive mindset is, hey, I'm here for you, and letting them know that, because they've got a lot of things. People, as you do, everyone's got a lot on their mind. And it's the ability of the professional realtors who are able to focus their efforts, okay, get clear, not let all this very, very important noise, okay, I'm not minimizing it, but it's going on. The The ones who really win are the ones who can say, wait a minute, how can I focus my efforts, my strengths, my attitude, my actions on what matters most? And you know what? I'm going to start with my family and friends and coworker safety, and I'm going to bleed that out to my clients because I want them to be safe and healthy and okay as well. So you know what? I'm going to start off with contacting them. You will be amazed on what this will do for those relationships, and most importantly, how much help you truly can be in service to those people. So why don't we open this up for some questions?
Do we have any questions? Okay, so I'm just going to say this, so just as it's not a shameless plug, but it's a fact. We're going to do this every Thursday and every Tuesday at 1:30. We're also recording it on another camera, okay, to go on my YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, even if you forget to watch it, whatever, it's going to remind you. So subscribe to that, and you'll be able to watch them, whether you watch it live or watch it later. They'll be all on the YouTube channel as well.
Now, I know he talks about his YouTube channel, and of course his is got a lot more people than mine, but I have one too. I don't know where it's at. However,
no, you do have one.
It is, and of course I have one. I'm kidding.
It'll go on there too.
I know it will. I know it will. So, any questions at all? Nothing? Rick, anything else?
Just okay. So, if you're like Mark said earlier, if you're wondering what to do, I would say the number one thing for all of you is while you're contacting your sphere and you're asking questions. Remember, I will tell you what happened on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. You got Tuesday. I had an agent I was talking to, and the seller listed about a week ago with them with a few things that had to be done in the home. She called on Monday or Tuesday to find out how they were doing, and the seller actually got a little irritated. Like, I need to sell my house. So you're going to have people like that. So you got to do your best to service them. You're going to have people in the middle and so forth. But while you're contacting your sphere, definitely, I know most of you need to organize it, delete, add to the VAC, make sure their own newsletters. You can do all of that while this is going on, and you'll be really happy when you get on the other side, and that is all organized.
And one last point to that, if you're ever uncomfortable personally not to do a certain activity, because you're just saying right now, I'm going to be at home and I don't want to do this, and my people are asking me to do things that I'm just not comfortable doing, please contact your manager. I promise you, we'll find somebody who is comfortable because they need to be, and they will do it smart, and they will protect themselves and protect the client, but they can go out and get that service done, even though, not always, it doesn't have to be you personally. Listen, we all have different feels and different aspects about this, and no one's wrong. If it's your feelings, they're correct, okay? No one can take that away from you, but we want to really step up to the plate and service any needs that the clients need, as long as they're not putting the realtor or themselves in danger, and we're doing this properly, following the CDC rules and distancing. As long as we do it right, we can help them. So I appreciate everyone's time. Rick, thank you as well.
Thank you very much.
See everybody next Tuesday.
One quick question.
A question came in.
For Rick.
Got it.
How is Rick working out at the gym with it closed? Can we get Rick to lead morning workout videos?
You know what? I was going to throw that in.
Talking about it.
Okay, so I can tell you what I'm doing. This morning, my LVAC closed. Okay, finally. They did it kicking and screaming, though, which I kind of like. My gym in my subdivision was open until this morning. I went there, and there was the sign. They didn't even email us. I was a little upset about that. So in my house, I have bands. I also have those 40-pound salt bags from my water purifier. So I've created my own workout, and you know what? What a great topic. I will do that. I'll do little videos for that about what I'm doing right now. It's just a whole different workout. I'm running now. I have a Busu ball at home. I have a wheel. So I'm doing all this stuff out of my house. And is it as good? Not quite, but it's a different workout. I can already feel it today that I'm a little sore because I've mixed it up. So You can keep going is my point.
Now, and I, to talk for myself, as as the CEO, not all of you can do this, but I've had Rick add 30 minutes to his workout to help me.
Yes.
And he's been more than happy. How's that going?
Yeah, I carry him around. It's very interesting.
I'm doing my home workout too. I'm loving it.
Mark actually walks his dog on his treadmill. It's pretty interesting to watch.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.